point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we want to write an equation for a line with the slope of a half, and it passes through the point negative 6, 2. So I have y minus what? 2 is equal to 1/2 times x, then what?
Plus 6.
Plus 6. It's the opposite of what you see. Now that we have that form, we can put it into slope-intercept form. So y minus 2 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Add the 2, y is equal to 1/2 x plus 5. Everybody good with writing an equation in slope-intercept form like that? Then what we want to do is, and I'm going to do 4b with you. You're going to then do 4a after that, see if you can get it. But what's different about this problem is they don't give us a slope. They tell us it passes through 2 points. Every time it says write an equation for a line, you need 2 things. You need slope, and you need a point. Okay? Caitlin, which point do you want? Do you want negative 4, 3, or do you want negative 6, 4?
Negative 4, 3.
She wants negative 4, 3. If she would choose negative 6, 4, she'd come up with the exact same result. She chose negative 4, 3. Now, they don't give me my slope, but I can figure out my slope using my slope formula. Remember, the slope formula is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I subtract the y values, and I subtract the x values. So on top, I have 4 minus 3. And on the bottom, I have negative 6 minus negative 4. Four minus 3 is 1. And negative 6 minus 4, notice when you subtract a negative, you must add the opposite, and you get negative 2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Once you find the slope and you have the point, the rest is pretty straightforward, isn't it? We go straight into our point slope form. Y what? Minus 3 equals negative 1/2 times x plus 4. We now put it into points or slope-intercept form. Y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 x. What's negative 1/2 times 4? Negative 2. Add the 3 to both sides. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1. And there's my line in slope-intercept form. What I'd like you to do is you don't have to graph it. I'd like you to try problem A on your own. See if you do A on your own and see if you can get the right result. Get 3x minus 5? We're good? Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take out your homework. Now we want to get to our second piece today, because that's what we covered in the other class. So we're just going to do a little bit here, a little bit, okay? So right now, it says problem number 1, identify the slope of the line and the point it passes through. I just want you to do those first 3 right now. In your homework, those first 3, starting with y minus 5, just start with those top 3, okay? Just do those first 3 in your homework. So you don't need to distribute, just name the slope and the point. Just name the slope and the point. So for the first one, the slope should be 4 and the point should be 1, 5. So see how we took negative 4, 3. We put the negative 4 there, put the 3 there. That tells us the point. This is the x value, that's the y value. So the second one, you should have the slope is negative 5/3. And the point is 2, negative 6. I'll give you 15 seconds and we'll do the third one.
Hi. I plugged in my microphone. Did I take a test?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're just a really quiet
I was
class.
gonna say, holy cow. I plugged in my Chromebook and I completely forgot it in here. And I looked in my bag and it was gone.
The third one should be a slope of 1/4 and a point of negative 11, negative 6. Is everybody okay with those 3? Any questions? Okay, then here's what I want you to do. We're going to give you about 4 minutes to work on these pieces. Then we're going to move to our second part. For our second part, again, I'm going to take off a bunch of your assignment. I want you to circle problem 3 and 4. And then on the back side, 6A and 6B. Those are the only 4 problems I need you to do on this worksheet. Everybody got that? Take about 4 minutes. The answer key is here, and then we're going to move on to our next piece. And for our next piece, I will cut that assignment shorter too.
you want us to graph them too?
You don't need to. Oh, not 5 A and B, 6 A and B. Yep, 6 A and B.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I read that. So M. Choose your point, which move your times. Okay, straight 6, 2. And you gotta find your slope. So Y is 2, this is Y is 1. X is 1. So before we do this, slope. Slope is 4. That's 6. 6. Now as you write it, y minus 2 equals -3 times x minus 6. Right? Yeah, so there you go. But to come up with the -3, we have to do that. That makes sense? There you go. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Okay, take out your notes. Okay. All of these lines here are parallel. What do you notice about all these lines? Same slope. Same slope means that they're parallel. So suppose they ask us to write an equation for a line that's parallel to this line, but passes through this point. Okay, that's the directions. Write an equation for a line is parallel to the given line that passes through the point. We're first going to write the equation in point slope form, then place it in slope intercept form. Every time you see the directions, write an equation for a line, you need your slope and you need your point. So I know that this passes through the coordinate 1, 4. If it's parallel to that line, what's the slope going to be? What's the slope of this line? Just -3. So the slope of the new line is also -3. So the only thing that's changing is how we identify the slope. And for parallel lines, it's no big deal. So now we have y minus 4 is equal to -3 times x minus 1. Hopefully now, after the past few minutes here, and after yesterday, you feel very confident once you get to this part to be able to distribute and put it into point slope form. -3x plus 3. And we add the 4 to get y is equal to -3x plus 7. Now flip it over to the other side. We'll do 2 examples here. We'll cut your assignment in half, and away we go. What do you notice about these slopes? I want you to look at these and then talk to the person next to you. What do you think makes 2 lines perpendicular as you look at their slopes? Go ahead, visit and talk. What do you got? The term is opposite reciprocals, meaning that they are opposite in sign, so one's positive and one's negative, and reciprocals in that we flip it upside down. Okay? I used to have, when I taught 9th graders this, I used to bring a kid up in front of class, and we would show the opposite reciprocal of them. So we'd take them, we'd turn them around, and then we would flip them upside down. We'd hang them up by the feet. Should we try it? Who should we use?
Owen.
Owen? Should we use Owen? He's shaking his head.
Claire.
All right, we won't flip anybody today. Maybe later on. All right, so let's go to the basics. It says write an equation for a line. We're going to do these 2. That's perpendicular to this line that passes through the point. Every time you see the directions, write an equation for a line, you always think of slope and point. And the point that it passes through is -1, 1. If it's perpendicular to this line, you need to figure out what the new slope is going to be. Share with the person across from you. 15 seconds. What do you think the slope's going to be? Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've got -3 over 1, or in other words, -3. Once we have that, the problem becomes simple. Y minus 1 is equal to -3 times x plus 1. We place it into slope-intercept form. Y minus 1 is equal to -3x minus 3. Add the 1, y is equal to -3x minus 2. Piece of cake upside down, right? When you did this in 9th grade or 8th grade, your teacher probably spent like a week and a half with you on this. But what we've learned is that when you cover something multiple times, it gets easier every time. And are you better students than when you were in 9th grade or worse students than when you were in 9th grade? Yeah, you are. You become more mature, older, whole thing. So you can learn it quicker. Last example, we need slope and we need a point. The point's given to us, it's 6, 0. I can't tell the slope just by looking at this line. So what should I do?
Solve for it.
Solve for what?
Y.
Solve for y. When it's written as y equals, then we can tell the slope. So let's go ahead and do that. I have 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. I will subtract the 2x. I get negative 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. And then I divide by negative 3. And I get y is equal to 2/3 x minus 2. Great. The slope of that line is 2/3. What's the slope of my new line? Negative 3 over 2. You hear the kids over there?
Yeah.
Y minus 0, which is just y, is equal to negative 3/2 times x minus 6. So y is equal to negative 3/2 x. How do I do negative 3/2 times negative 6? You multiply the top of the fraction, you divide by the bottom of the fraction. So negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18, divided by 2 is positive 9. Now, suppose I'm doing this, okay? I'm going through the test. Actually, we'll say that Parker's taking this, okay? He's taking this test later on, and he finishes in time because Mr. Gens gives plenty of time on his test. And he said, I want to know if I did the problem right? Like, you'd like to know. You don't wait for me to grade it and find out you got something wrong. What could he do? Well, here's a great way to check your answer. If you just graphed it, which you would plot this line, you would plot negative 2, and then go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, so on and so forth, and you would draw that line. When we draw the next line, it should look perpendicular. So I'll try it. I will plot positive 9. Let's say it's 6, 7, 8, 9 will go right about there. And the slope is negative 3/2. So down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. And I ask you guys, do those look like they meet at a 90-degree angle? Absolutely. In fact, I could put my piece of paper up there. And, whoa. It looks like it makes a perfect 90-degree angle right at that corner. We know it's right. Okay, take out your assignment, and we flip to the part that says parallel and perpendicular. Oh, your notes. Yeah. Parallel and perpendicular. You see this guy right here? Okay. You don't have to do all of them. Just do problem 1A and then 2A and B. You can cross off C and D. Flip it off to the next side. You can do 3A and then do 4C and D. Cross off A and B. And that's it. You guys got about 6 minutes. I can come around and answer some questions. Thank you for your hard work today.